Lucy.
And I'm Natty.
And this is On the Bench,
A series shot in beautiful Bath celebrating UK independence and the highs and lows of running your own business.
And today we have our third ever bench guest with us, Mandy Sutcliffe. Hi Mandy.
Welcome.
Welcome to the bench.
Glorious day.
Thank you for having me.
It's such a beautiful blue sky day and you've come over from Bristol.
I have come from Bristol, yes.
Yeah, so the reason Mandy has come over from Bristol is to deliver some new enamelware that we've been working on.
Some Chinaware.
And some Chinaware for the shop. So we've got 4 new Mandy Sutcliffe mug designs here at the River Mouse now. And it's just been so nice. You were on, so when I opened the River Mouse and when I was looking at everybody that I wanted to supply, you were number 1 on the list for
Did you say that
just
to everybody?
I do not. But for your beautiful illustrations and the nostalgia that you bring through your work and the kind of innocence that you really portray. So I should ask you to introduce yourself. So, Mandy, sorry, before I whitter on, tell us a bit about you.
So I am an illustrator, an artist, and I live in Bristol. So, not far. So I just hopped on the train to hand deliver your new mugs, which is very exciting. And I specialise in drawing children. Started off drawing children's books. I've had a children's brand. Now I illustrate, do commissions, paint, anything basically that's to do with children. That's what I do.
And so how did you first get into illustrating?
So I studied illustration at Leeds a long time ago, and whilst I was there, I was very lucky to do an exchange program to Paris, which was amazing. And because I was on like a graphic design course, I was meant to go and just sort of sit on a computer every day, and my French is very, very limited, so I basically...
Were you being taught graphic design in French?
In French.
Oh wow, okay.
In a sort of very, in a very sort of contemporary college, and I was like, this isn't why I've come to Paris, so I bunked off and I went to the parks and I painted and drew the beautiful Parisian children, and I think it just all started from there, really.
That literally sounds like the absolute dream.
Living in Paris,
going to parks, just drawing, and like there's the
and
true
there's nothing
artist.
like a Parisian child as well.
The
with a
outfits.
like little bonnet, it sings like Madeline to me, little wide brimmed hats and socks pulled up to the knee, and just like immaculately dressed in like very beautiful clothing,
and all matching. Sort of all sort of colour coordinated, or So that was really sort of where my passion for drawing children came from. And then of course the books that I grew up with when I was little, they were a huge inspiration. Like sort of Millie, Molly, Mandy, the Flower Fairies, Christopher Robin, all those classics. So what I would really like to sort of do is to draw the children of today, but in that sort of vintage, nostalgic way. But not to make it too twee, or just to sort of just to capture, the innocence of sort of
which
children now.
Do brilliantly,
thank you.
Really brilliantly.
Thank you. I love what I do.
So how did you go from uni into taking that professionally? Like that must have been quite a big jump to kind of go off. Presumably, did you start out independently freelancing? Like, how did that work?
Well, I moved to London quite quickly, and I approached lots of different publishers. I think I sent photographs of my work. It was so old school. I wrote letters and sent photos, and I got the standard rejection letters. As everybody does. But at the bottom of one of them, it had just a few lines from a lovely lady called Louise from Walker Books. And she just said to me, the paintings of children are beautiful. You can obviously draw children and paint children very well, but we'll need to see a sort of continuation of the same child and lots of different emotions and so I went away and I did that, probably spent about 6 months doing that, and I worked in a lovely art shop the whole time, and I was doing that. So that's why I love anything to do with beautiful shops like this. I'm a shopkeeper at heart, definitely. And then I took the work back in, and then I was very, very lucky, and then they commissioned my first book. So
that's so interesting that like I've never really thought about that before, of like having to have that progression of an illustration, like that process is really interesting.
Yeah, it was. I know it sounds silly, but sometimes it's the simplest things like that someone needs to just point out to you.
Yes.
It was my friend's daughter, and I took her to London Zoo and just did lots of sketches, took lots of photographs, and I did a whole series of drawings and paintings of her. And off the back of that, I got my first. My first book.
And what was your first book?
My first book was a book called Night Ride to Nana's House.
I love it.
Cute!
Yes, by Jenny Korolek was the author, and it was very sweet. It was about a little girl and her brother, and the journey from her home with her parents in the car, and everything that she could see on the way, the familiar journey to her grandparents' house.
Premise,
I love that.
Really, really sweet. And then her sort of tucked up in bed, listening to her parents and grandparents chatting downstairs. And I remember that feeling.
I remember that feeling so well.
Yeah.
And so after the children's books, what did that evolve into after?
Yeah, so I illustrated, I think 3 children's books, and I wrote one as well, which I'm really proud about, because actually that's really difficult.
I bet.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that short form, children's stories, the kind of perception of that is that it's very simplistic, very basic, should be easy to put together.
I think, it's a different
it's
kind
a
of
complete skill.
It was really good learning experience to see, what authors go through and the amount of editing and how editors work, and that was amazing. So I did those, and then what happened? So then I had an agent as well for greetings cards. So that was really, really fun. So I did that for a while, editorial work. And then my husband now, my boyfriend at the time, we decided to go travelling. And I'd had this beautiful studio. I've never had a studio so lovely since, in Belsize Park. It was gorgeous. I shared with 4 of the fine artists, and all my work then was painting. I painted everything in acrylics and oils. It was wonderful. And then my boyfriend and I decided to go travelling, and I was like, well, I can't take all this equipment, with me, all my stuff. So then I actually bought my first laptop and a printer, and during that time, so we were sort of travelling and he was working, so we were based in, it wasn't like backpacking, we were based, in apartments and things. So I taught myself Photoshop, and it's just really interesting, because I think a lot of people say that could be quite, I don't know, like tying. I don't know. I found it really liberating, even though a lot of people think, computer-based work is quite tight. I can't really explain, but for some reason, I just really found it really liberating, and I felt like my work then really took leaps and bounds, and I just found a lot of confidence. I think because I knew how to draw and I knew how to paint. I sort of had a better understanding of using a Photoshop, but
take on all of those skills and apply them.
So that was brilliant. So I spent a couple of years traveling, and then I was in Australia, and a friend of mine said to me, oh, have you heard of this website called Etsy? I'm buying all my stuff off Etsy, it's amazing. And I was like, oh, that's good, I can do that. And it was just a really, really brilliant time, because Etsy hardly had anybody on it, and also home printers had just really come into their own, so you could get a really, really good print at home, which you could never do before. And so I opened a shop, and it's actually called Millie Molly Mandy.
Was it?
It was. And when I was doing my greetings cards, I used to draw children all the time. And my greetings card agent said to me, you can't keep drawing children, because nobody will buy it unless it looks exactly like their child. Nobody will buy it. And I used to think, I don't know, I would buy a picture of a child. Just, because And so I opened my Etsy shop, and I had all these illustrations of children doing various things, and I made them into just like simple A4 prints, and I think within like 5 minutes I'd sold one, and I thought I'd done something wrong. I was like, where's it gone? I've uploaded it wrong. And,
wow.
and it was brilliant, and it just really, really took off from there.
Great.
You know, selling my own stuff.
Yeah. Initially, those platforms were brilliant, weren't they? Etsy and
I think they just weren't so oversaturated
not on the high street
at that point.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
It was a real
incredible.
artist tool out into like the general public.
I feel really, really fortunate that I found it when I did.
Yeah.
And it was very inspirational. Different publishers found me through their different shops. I had to change my name because I couldn't obviously call myself Millie Molly Mandy. When I started going out into the wider world. So I'd done a range of greetings cards for Debenhams, I think it was, and I'd done these little characters which was a little girl and a bunny, and I called them Bella and Boo. And so I was like, well, they're characters, they'll do, you know, sort of like that. And but then I couldn't buy bellandboo.com. I think somebody had it as like their wedding site or something. And then it was my mum. She said, well, what about Belle and Boo? Because it reads well, and it looks nicer, not having the two A's next to each other like Belle and Boo, and it means pretty and blah, blah, blah. So so that was, so then I created my company Belle and Boo, which was a children's brand. And again, I think when I started that, there weren't so many people that had illustration brands. I mean, I looked to people like Kath Kitson and Orla Keeley or Kylie?
Yes,
Keeley, as my sort of inspiration, because there weren't that many people doing that. And then that just grew, and then
And so did Belle and Boo ever have a physical space?
No,
it was only ever
always online.
That brand, Belle and Boo, has resonates with so many people. When they come into my shop and they see your artwork on the wall, you can see, even though it's not the characters Belle and Boo, there's such like a flicker of recognition. And a lot of people talk about you. Like the other day I messaged you on Instagram because I was like, 3 people this morning have asked about you, had some kind of connection with you, or had read your books growing up and things. So like it's such a well-loved and recognizable illustrative style. And I think what really comes through is it's not just the nostalgia and that kind of vintage look, but it just feels so innocent
but
and
also
playful and true to childhood in a way that it's not trying to it's not trying to get children to grow up or look grown up. It's just them in the moment, I think.
And I think the storytelling element of it as well, like in your illustrations, which is interesting that you started illustrating children's books. Like you can see the storytelling within the images that you draw. Like there's this that you can there's just a story there.
When we spoke about it, you said you loved drawing with pets in, or when they had like a special cuddly toy. And I think when you have those, or they have like another person in, so you see either the connection or you see that soft toy looking a little bit bedraggled, and like what is that story? That there's a sense of curiosity that's sparked through your illustration. So it's like it's so well loved in the shop, and I'm so excited that we've got our new collection. So I'm totally.
I mean, this is
totally
exactly
in love with
the example
Pixies.
of like the storytelling. Like you can just see the collection of children with all of their books huddling together and like having this moment that is just
I'm thrilled with these.
Thank
you for encouraging me to.
Oh no, thank you for doing it. I'm so in love with these Pixies. And there's one, I'm going to have to show them on social.
The little, the baby one.
Baby enamel, and it's just so ridiculously cute. I don't think my ovaries can cope.
I know.
Like, I didn't know I could feel so maternal about a little mug.
I can just imagine tea parties happening with
Yes,
those,
in the
can't
woods.
you? Like,
With hot
absolutely.
chocolate and just adorable. So nice. So kind of what are your plans from here, Mandy? Like what are you working on? So obviously you've just created a whole new range of enamelware, so that's gonna blow up.
I think I'm going to expand that definitely now that I've sourced where to get it made, and now I can go mad on enamelware. I have. Well, I'm just waiting. It's very exciting. Waiting on a new. Find out if I'm going to be commissioned to do a new book. So
Oh, exciting!
I've got every class.
So
that's
that will
exciting.
be, yes.
I'd love to know actually, just talking about the enamelware, and because these are new products, and like where you get your inspiration for your illustrations. and the different types, like where that comes from. Is it people on the street that you see, or is it like moments, or
That's a oh gosh,
is that too big of a question? Sorry.
Well, no, I mean, I think with the enamelware, I think Lucy said originally, did you say pixies?
I said pixies because I was in love with your pixie notelets.
Yeah, yes.
And I had some enamelware in the shop
and you
that
said
was doing really well.
toadstools.
Yes, toadstools.
Oh, they're
Basically I was
next.
obsessed with like forest pixie land.
Like the Children
Very.
of the Forest.
Children of the Forest
books.
books.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Spun round, but
Oh, yeah, I love. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that's another story in there. Yeah, I don't. In answer to your question, I don't really know. It might just be something that somebody said, or it might just be something I've seen, where I'm like, I want to draw that. Or
it's almost a subconscious thing that it just comes up and you go with it. Yeah.
Knowing that I was coming here today, I drew a little girl on a bench.
I know, I saw
because I was just in my head, and I was just like, oh, cute, I want to draw it.
Yeah.
And
I suppose you work on commissions as well, so you get that inspiration from the people commissioning you.
Yes,
about their children.
Yes.
Tell me more about the commissions, because I don't know much about that.
So the commissions, I mean, that's something I've done. I've always done, and I love doing it. I've just done some beautiful ones for Mother's Day. This gorgeous one I've just done, which the mum sat with her 5 children around her, all reading a book, and you can just see the book. And she asked me whether on the book it could be the illustration of them. You know what I mean? Like a little miniature. Because she's, everybody loves that, don't they? Like going back again to Millie Molly Mandy. You know, the map at the beginning, and that's got the little tiny things.
Yes.
And so that was brilliant, and she sent me, like you said, she sent me the most amazing video of them opening it.
Yeah, I love that when you reposted it.
That's me.
It's so adorable. I should probably wrap up.
I think
I'm conscious that we need to open the shops, but before we do, can we hear about what you're most inspired by, or what you're reading, listening to, watching at the moment?
Podcasts, music.
Oh, I've always got the radio on.
Have you? What do you listen to?
What channel? Yeah.
A lot of just talking. So
Yeah.
a lot of Radio 4.
I love Radio 4.
I love Radio 4.
Give me Woman's Hour every day.
Yeah.
And do you know that one, Life Changing? Have you heard that? Oh, that's on radio. That's really good. That's people that had a life-changing moment, and how their life goes.
Is it the one where they call in and they say, no, it's not like a shout out to people?
No. They interview people, and I was listening to it the other day, and it had my son's basketball coach on there, and I was like, I mean, he's got a story, and it was halfway through it, and I was like, that's Coach Dan. And incredible. So that's a really good one to listen to. But audiobooks, I like to listen to audiobooks. I'm listening to Hamnet because I want to listen to it before I go and see it.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have. I read the book a long time ago, and I have seen the film. It is outstanding, but it's also a movie that you need to prepare yourself for emotionally.
I still feel raw after.
Dan, literally, my husband Dan, like for like a week afterwards, he was like, I'm still really like the ground beneath me is slightly shifted after watching that movie, because it's just so like, it really is beautifully done. And I'm so pleased that she's won all of those awards, because she's very well deserved.
Yeah, I think watching Hamnet with children, particularly boys, is a grueling thing. And you've got 2 boys.
I have, yes. I've got 14-year-old twin boys.
Do you draw them routinely?
I used to draw them. I used to draw them a lot more, and they used to be in a lot of my photo shoots. They're not so keen now. But yes, if I'm working on something and they happen to have a look at what I'm doing, and I get well, that's all right, Mum. That's a huge compliment.
Is it? So that's what we can come to expect in years to come, Natty, with our boys. That's all right. Oh, cute. Thank you so much for coming on the bench with us, Mandy. It's been all right. And sorry it's been so disrupted with flower deliveries and all sorts on Pierre Pompey's, but it's been lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been lovely.